This video is going to be very different from what I normally upload, and originally I didn't even want to make it, but after realizing how bad of an issue this really was, it's almost irresponsible for me not to. My content and a lot of other people in our GTA community is being systematically stolen on YouTube, and there is virtually nothing that we can do to stop it. And it's not just by small creators either, but rather people with thousands and even hundreds of thousands of subscribers that are doing this stealing. Now, since I started making videos on YouTube about 3 years ago, there have been various times where I will receive emails from some of my viewers informing me that another channel is either stealing my thumbnails or my scripts, or sometimes even entire videos and passing them off as their own work. Now, this was first brought to my attention over 3 months ago when I got an email from a viewer named Hakan. Hakan's email had described how a Turkish YouTuber named Umutcan Yalvaçlı, I definitely said that wrong, but we're just going to call him this YouTuber for now, and he had directly ripped off nearly my entire script for the video, How Long is GTA 5 Story Really? Now, while people ripping off my YouTube videos is nothing new by any means, this was different in the fact that it wasn't a direct re-upload, but rather he had taken my script and my ideas and translated them into his native language and put out the video for his non-English speaking audience. And this idea of taking an English speaking creator's video and research and retranslating it into another creator's language is the basis of the problem that we are facing now. The lucky part in this situation is that I wasn't alone in the content that he had stolen. Another YouTuber by the name Derrat had actually uploaded a video exposing him for the content that he had blatantly plagiarized. In Max's video, he showed 3 examples: the intro to my video, the intro to his video, and the intro to Dr. Mod's How Much Time Passes in GTA San Andreas, and he compared our videos to the intro of this YouTuber's videos on the same topics. To give you a sense of what I am referring to when I talk about the stolen scripts, I will show you the comparison between my video and this YouTuber's. Time. In video games, time often doesn't make a whole lot of sense. For example, 1 day in GTA 5 is equal to 48 minutes in the real world, which means if you were to calculate the amount of time that has passed in GTA 5 since the game launched, it would be 357 years that we've been stuck in Los Santos.
Now here's the plagiarist's video.
Time in video games often doesn't work logically. For example, in GTA 5, 1 day is equal to 48 minutes in the real world. This means that if we calculate the time that has passed in Los Santos since the release of GTA 5, it would be approximately 400 years.
Isn't that amazing?
The intro to my video was very unique, so to see him happen to come up with the exact same intro and show what I assume is the same math up on screen is clear to see that he simply took my script and took it for himself. To me, what the worst part of this entire situation is that, as Hakan pointed out in his email to me, throughout his video, he often used phrases like, "I found that," or "after looking into this," or "I spent weeks doing this," which just completely undermines the actual work I did on it. For that video, I played through nearly the entire campaign just to find out how much time each character drives to calculate the in-game time based off a single line of dialogue that Trevor says. Now, it ended up being for nothing, as I explained in the video, but I still had to do that in order to know that it didn't work. To which this YouTuber waited for that video to do well, stole the script, and re-uploaded it to his audience, and still managed to pull in around 50,000 views. Now, I was very fortunate that Derrat's video proved quite effective in being able to get this YouTuber to delete all of their videos, as well as his entire channel, but this is far from the only time that this has happened. And even worse is that this example wasn't even scratching the surface for how bad it could actually get. Meet Zechos, a YouTuber from Czechia who is easily the most shameless YouTuber I have ever seen on the platform when it comes to plagiarism. And I don't say that lightly. Zechos has stolen videos from nearly every single name in the GTA community. I mean, me, Dr. Mod, Bogan Bav, Luckstat, Dandy Andy, Inter, and probably more that I'm just unfortunately not aware of at this time. His entire channel is built off the backs of English-speaking creators, taking our scripts, our videos, and our thumbnails and reposting them to his audience in his language. Not only does he steal and reuse our videos, but he also cuts the video up in a way to purposely fool the copyright system on YouTube, and I'll show you an example. One of the biggest videos on my channel is the history of GTA 5's greatest speedrunner, a video that I am extremely proud of due to the amount of research and editing time that video took to put together. Zechos then went and uploaded the exact same video, exact same title, exact same thumbnail, but it's slightly different. The video doesn't one-to-one match my video, but that's only because he stitched my clips in a different order to avoid copyright ID. It's actually so blatant how much he steals and how he couldn't care less, because look at that clip. That's me. That is a clip I pulled from an unlisted video on my channel from years ago of me speedrunning SM64, and you can even see my logo on the live split timer. I can show you in DaVinci that if I just re-edit the clips from our videos, it's the exact same thing just in a different order. He uses all of my clips, but stitches them in a different order. And at the same time, he can't forget to shill out his memberships and asking viewers to hype the video to help out this small creator for all the hard work he put into the video. And again, it's not just me. He has done this for tons of other creators I mentioned earlier. Now, I'm not oblivious to the fact that when talking about Zechos, we are only talking about a few thousand views on these videos. But again, it's not about the views, it's about the idea that YouTube allows this to happen without notifying me about a copyright ID. While YouTube's copyright system admittedly works pretty well when it comes to video and audio, it is non-existent when it comes to scripts and thumbnails. I can copyright strike people for those reasons if I believe someone has stolen either of those assets, but since our audiences almost never mesh over and YouTube doesn't flag them, the only time I become aware of these channels is when a viewer notifies me about them, which is very, very rare. It's only happened, I think, 3 times, which the last time we will get into very soon. And this last example is arguably the worst because of the example and the precedent that it sets on YouTube. The final spark for me making this video and for me to know how bad of an issue this really was is when I received a DM from a viewer named Thorfinn who informed me about a channel from Saudi Arabia called 4x4 Gaming. With nearly 900,000 subscribers, this channel has not only ripped off a bunch of videos from myself, but also 10 plus creators in the GTA community, stealing our scripts, our thumbnails, our research, and translating them into his own language and passing them off to his audience as their own work. In his video, The Rarest Collectibles in the History of the GTA franchise, a direct rip from my video on the same topic, not only is the thumbnail basically a one-to-one rip, but you can also see that a lot of the graphics in his videos are directly ripped from mine. And the items talked about are the exact same, just in a different order. The most clear example is when he shows a screenshot of the Bravado Banshees shown on the episode Better Call Saul. For my video, I had to go onto Netflix and grab that screenshot, which is why you can see the rating in the top left, and his video shows the exact same frame with the rating still shown, meaning he simply screenshotted it from my video. And on top of that, his script also features wording that is very similar to mine. Maybe only slightly changed by the fact that it has been translated into a different language. Now, the viewer who messaged me, Thorfinn, told me that he tried to get 4x4 to credit me for the video, but he instead had his comments hidden from 4x4's channel. It does seem like the comments worked, however, as he would go on to later add my name to the description, which you think would be fine, but all this really did was prove to me that he is watching English creators to steal our videos and potentially ideas, since it's unlikely that our audiences would ever cross over. And while I would love to say that I'm the only one being stolen from by this creator, that is far from the case. For example, he stole a video nearly one-to-one from Captain Glack in his GTA 5's most overlooked details. He stole a video from Shapatar XT going over adding the most missed features in GTA games. He stole a video from someone I know quite well named Cyberboy, giving the exact same analysis on some news that had come out earlier in the day. He has stolen countless videos from Dr. Mod. He even went as far as to steal the entire video and research for a YouTuber named TJGM who did an investigation on GTA 4's taxi bug. And this one is by far the most blatant because not only did he use all of TJGM's information, but he also reenacted the personal experiments that this creator did and claimed them as his own ideas. 4x4 had reenacted his zero density test, his index 25 swap, the 250 megabyte audio test, essentially just boiling down to him just Google translating his entire script and all of his research and passing it off as his own work. These weren't even all of the examples. He's also stolen from Sharky GTA, from SourceBrew, Blaze92, Grizzly Bear, Alex Pauly AK, and potentially so many other channels that we just have no idea about because YouTube doesn't notify us about these videos being stolen. I could have made this entire video solely dedicated to 4x4 and the content that he has stolen. But the entire point that I'm trying to make is just how easy it is to rip off someone's script and research and pass it off as your own if it's in a different language. And to see this type of behavior from a channel with nearly 900,000 subscribers is something that is just unacceptable on YouTube, which is exactly why I think this is the worst example of stolen content that I have ever seen on my time on YouTube. But all of these channels share the same format. They find a video that's doing really well with an English audience, they steal the research and the script, translate it into their own language, and post it as their own work to their own channel. And what I really want you guys to understand is that the only reason I'm bringing up these examples is because they're the only ones that I've been notified about from viewers. There could be hundreds of channels doing the exact same thing that I will never know about. And that's because not only our viewership doesn't cross over, but also because YouTube's copyright system doesn't take different languages into account when identifying stolen content. And I understand that the idea of copyright IDing scripts in videos or transcripts would be a very tricky system for YouTube. I understand that. And that's exactly why that I have no idea how you even solve this problem. I really wish I did. I have no solution for what is the best course of action to take against people that are ripping off your scripts, retranslating them, and then posting them as their own videos. But I also felt like if I just do nothing about it and just keep copyright striking all of these videos that I find from the once a month I get an email from a viewer, that doesn't actually solve the problem. It just puts a band-aid on it, if anything at all. Despite what people might say online, YouTube is not an easy job, at least in the way that, me and Dr. Mod and Dandy Andy and Bogan Bav and a bunch of other people in our community do. It takes a really long time to get a video out. I mean, on most videos, we're talking 40 to 50 hours from the start of ideation to researching to gathering articles and then script writing and recording, gathering footage and different screenshots, and then editing it all together, as well as thumbnails. Every single process that goes into a video is done by me. And that's not to complain. Like, I could stop doing it whenever I want, but I don't want to because this is my job and I love doing it. This is what I've dreamed about since I was a kid. So that work honestly doesn't faze me. But what does faze me is when I can see a channel take my script, throw it into ChatGPT and retranslate it into their language, take my video, stitch different clips together to make the same one, and upload it to theirs in probably less than a few hours. That is what I have a problem with. And so I'm putting out this video in the hopes that maybe someone at YouTube or some other YouTuber is able to cover it and something gets done. But again, I don't have any solutions. So I appreciate you all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.